Today's recipe is all about being convenient, quick, simple, easy, and trust me, this recipe is one of those flag bearers of great North Indian food in restaurants internationally. The name you may ask? Chole Masala. Let's begin. Well, I'm going to show you how to make chole masala in possibly one of the most easy, convenient ways, picking up a lot of things from the supermarket. Now, in this case, that'd be something bottled, something canned, something off the retail store, something off the shelf. Very simple. Trust me when I say this. Let's begin chole masala. First things first, I'm going to take some onion tomato masala, which is also very conveniently available in Indian groceries internationally. This has oil, this has lots of onions which are caramelized and brown. This has tomatoes, and this has some basic spices like red chili powder, turmeric powder, garam masala, some coriander powder and things like that. Let's add in a cupful of water. Time to add in tomato puree. Let's stir this well and allow this to cook for at least 7 to 8 minutes on medium flame. Well, you'll also notice that the fat or oil from the onion tomato masala at this point in time also releases the sides of the pan. Well, using packaged things is extremely convenient for a simple reason, because a lot of cooking processes are already taken into consideration. Now, I follow one very simple principle. Everything that is lying on the shelf is there for a couple of hours, a couple of days, a couple of months. It's important to bring that into our kitchen and wake these things up. Now, in this case, to literally wake this up, I'm going to add in chole masala, which of course is also proprietary, but it will still add in that element of freshness. Time to add in the spices. In this case, of course, the chole masala. Some salt. Now, while adding salt, do remember the fact that some proprietary ingredients may also have salt, and allow these spices also to cook for a couple of minutes. Now, it's very important to also read the back of the label, not just for the date of expiration, but also for the ingredients, which at this point in time is extremely important for us. Now, this contains mustard seeds, which could be an allergen for some. This also contains gluten. So for all the ones who are looking for a gluten-free recipe, ground your own spices or buy homemade spices which are ground and kept absolutely safe and sound for you. Once the oil now releases, let's add in the core ingredient or the hero ingredient, canned chickpeas. Let's do that. Well, it's important to notice at this point in time that the chickpea is perfectly cooked. And if you see, this is also mentioned on the can. It says cooked and ready to use. And if you see, the can had two different ingredients. One is the chickpea and the second one is the liquid, which is also known as aquafaba. Let's add in the chickpeas for now, like so. At this point in time, you can also add in water. Could be a cupful, a cup and a half, depending on the thickness that you prefer. Well, by all means, you can also add in the aquafaba, which of course will bring in layers of flavor, because that's the water in which the chickpeas have literally cooked. Allow this to boil on high flame. Now, while mixing, there's another thing that's extremely important, and that is literally mashing a couple of beans. Now, that way, a lot of flavor also accentuates, so that the starch releases, the flavor releases, and all of this will also end up thickening the curry. Alternately, well, you can also invest in something like a potato mash or a potato masher, by which you can mash it extremely conveniently. Let me quickly show you a couple of more chickpeas. Allow this to thicken for another 30-40 seconds. And with this, your chole masala is done and ready. Now, you can make this look pretty with lots of ginger, lots of coriander, or if you cannot lay your hands on these quintessentially Indian herbs or spices, you can also dredge in some parsley leaves. What's important is to bring in that signature, personalized dishes so that you go all out and impress your family and friends. Now, this goes amazingly well with jeera rice, it goes with plain rice, it also goes amazingly well with a lot of Indian breads. Roti, garlic naan, malbari paratha, go all out and impress your family and friends. Bye for now.